volunteers head over to Nanfangao to send love and care to the families of the disaster survivors. With schools reopening, volunteers conduct home visits to scholarship recipients. Welcome to Dai Headlines. I'm Simon Gan. Thank you for joining us. In the morning of the second day after the Nanfangao Bridge collapse, the CEO of Tzu Chi Charity Foundation, Yan headed to Tzu Chi Luodong Liaison Office, disaster site, and Taipei Veterans General Hospital to understand the situation. Master Cheng Yan placed close attention to this event, showing great concerns about the safety of the rescue workers.
In the morning, Tzu Chi Luodong Liaison Office has mobilized its volunteers. The list of injured patients has been updated. Tzu Chi volunteers have stayed up overnight, helping the rescue workers. The CEO of Tzu Chi Charity Foundation has also come to provide care on behalf of Dharma Master Cheng Yang.
Since the disaster happened, we've been continuously reporting updates to our Dharma Master Cheng Yang many times a day. Master Cheng Yang gives great concern to our volunteers' safety. We have many elderly volunteers and we want to make sure they are safe. Master Cheng Yang is also concerned about the safety of rescue workers.
The volunteer pay respect to the rescue workers. On the second day after the bridge collapse, the rescue work continues.
Appreciate Tzu Chi brothers and sisters for supporting us in this mission. Encourage the members of the public as well as the rescue workers.
Tzu Chi volunteer also accompany groups of fishermen who are waiting for update news on the shore.
Your friend's father is, you mean your friend's father is in the sea, right?
Besides providing help to the rescue workers, Tzu Chi volunteer will also provide follow-up care to the injured patients. When the families of the fishermen come to Taiwan, they will help them get through the tough times.
Rescuers worked throughout the night responding to a bridge collapse. Tzu Chi volunteers rushed to the front line, working 3 shifts a day, providing rescue teams with emergency aid and food. Let's take a look.
Pots of hot food are brought to the scene of the disaster after a long night of work. Tzu Chi Service Center has been a place for food distribution. Tzu Chi's volunteer visited Indonesian survivors, assisting them to purchase basic supplies.
We really want to help them. These victims are Indonesian laborers who left their country and came here to work. Our volunteers sent one of the victims back to his place, got him cleaned up, then accompanied him to take care of his friend, who is also a survivor.
Tzu Chi also set up a medical station providing emergency aid to those in need.
Now we have 2 nursing staff along with rescue teams and social workers on site, utilizing some basic medical equipment.
However, there are still victims waiting to be found. Some Indonesian survivors are searching for their missing compatriots at the disaster scene. Tzu Chi volunteers provided their best support at the front line with love and care.
The rescue workers have worked day and night, searching for missing persons. Tzu Chi volunteers have also been on site, providing hot food and drinks, giving the rescue workers strength. Let's take a look.
As it turns dark, the rescue work has become more complicated. There's the foul odor of oil and debris from the ocean, and the ambulance is standing by, ready to take on missions. The volunteers bring in buckets of hot food, afraid that the rescue workers might get tired or hungry. On this night, they stay up to serve. Tzu Chi Service Center has turned into a midnight cafeteria. The volunteers work in a relay of love. In the morning on the next day, another team of volunteers have prepared breakfast for everyone.
200 bread, coffee, and soybean drink. It is hot and many people need tea and water. Therefore, we've ordered 10 boxes of bottled water.
Since immigrant workers are still missing, their friends from their hometowns are waiting anxiously on the shore. Then the body of one immigrant worker was found. As time passes by, the atmosphere has become quite tense. As there's still one person missing, there's still hope. As the rescue workers continue to work hard, the volunteers are their warmest support.
New Taipei City Government and Indonesian Economic and Trade Office in Taipei have worked together to hold a cultural carnival for Indonesian immigrant workers. Tzu Chi volunteers and TIMA members were invited to hold a free clinic on site. Not only have they safeguarded the health of the immigrant workers, they also provided love and care.
To care for immigrant workers, New Taipei City Government holds 4 immigrant worker carnivals every year. This one has been held for Indonesian immigrant workers.
Many of the Indonesian immigrant workers work as caregivers in people's homes. If they can interact with other people from their hometowns through this activity, it will be helpful for them to relieve their stress in the future.
TIMA from Northern Taiwan District has been working together with the New Taipei City Government. This time, 138 medical professionals and volunteers have served 109 immigrant workers, with a ratio larger than 1:1.
Since they exert physical strength at work, they will experience pain and soreness. In Chinese medicine, acupuncture can quickly relieve these problems. Therefore, they like it very much. It is hard for them to come from faraway places. If we treat them as our own family, they will feel warmer.
I feel better after having acupuncture. Now it is held once a year. If there could be more activities, it would be better.
Tia came with friends from her hometown on her day off and had a thorough checkup.
I have the day off and came with my friends. I'm very happy. It's very good.
TIMA members and city volunteers have provided love and care to these immigrant workers so they can feel more at ease in this foreign country.
At the beginning of the new semester, Tzu Chi volunteers in Xiamen started conducting home visits to scholarship recipients. During each visit, they will encourage the children to show filial piety to their seniors and parents who raised them.
At the beginning of the new semester, Tzu Chi volunteers in Xiamen started conducting home visits to scholarship recipients. 80-year-old Ning Weihao's father passed away and his mother's remarried, as he lived with his grandmother since he was young. This is his first time to practice filial piety to his grandmother through washing her feet. Ning Weihao never expressed his love to his grandmother before. This intimate action made his grandmother forget the hard work of taking care of him.
I'm
very grateful that Wen Hao received Tzu Chi's assistance. I hope that when he finishes his study in the future, he can give back to the society and those who care for him.
Volunteers visited Liu Qingnuan, another scholarship recipient who is also disadvantaged. Under the encouragement of the volunteers, Liu Qingnuan served tea to her father with illness for the first time.
I'm satisfied if my daughter listens to me and works hard.
Because of dialysis, Lu's father is not able to work. He expects his two daughters to spread love like the volunteers do when they grow up.
Both of my daughters are very obedient. They can feel the help from the society. I hope when they grow up, they can find a good job and help others.
Giving scholarships to the recipients, the volunteers hope that this care will accompany them to overcome the difficulties in their studies and they can give back to the society when they grow up.
Vietnam Tzu Chi volunteers went to a local junior high school to give scholarships. Since 2007, Tzu Chi has continued to support them. Students have learned to give back and they all came back with their bamboo coin banks, hoping to help more people in need.
Tzu Chi is hosting a scholarship distribution event at a local junior high school. Students came to register early in the morning and they brought back their bamboo coin banks.
These are the allowance my mother gave me, and I save up about $1 to $3 NT in the coin bank every day.
Every day we put in a little bit of pennies. It may not be much, but once it's accumulated, we can help others in need.
The young volunteer Khong Duc Phat and his brother wore the volunteer vest to help everyone pour in their coin banks.
I know there's a saying that streams of water can gather into the sea. If we donate the money we saved, we can help more impoverished children.
Since 2007, Tzu Chi has been supporting impoverished students to continue their education for 11 years consecutively. There are nearly 600 students who have been helped, and all of them were extremely grateful.
It's not just a scholarship, but I've also felt the care from everyone.
We work hard to get the Excellent Student Award every year, so we can receive scholarships from Tzu Chi, and we will not let Tzu Chi down.
Students have learned to give back to society and be grateful to help others in need. The power of great love is the best gift Tzu Chi has given to them.
At the end of August, Davao in the Philippines was hit by heavy rain. In early September, Tzu Chi volunteers launched a 3-day cash for relief to clean up the affected areas. At the end of September, they revisited to provide financial aid and school supplies for disadvantaged students. Receiving Tzu Chi's support has made local residents feel that Tzu Chi's assistance is timely and sufficient.
Seeing Tzu Chi volunteers again, the affected residents in Davao was happy and surprised.
We didn't expect that they will give us such big help.
At the end of August, heavy rains inundated Davao. Tzu Chi volunteers came to the disaster area in early September to launch Chi for relief in order to clean up. Volunteers went there again at the end of September to give financial relief to 205 seriously affected families. They also sent new school bags and school supplies to the children. All aids were sent in time, allowing them to have enough funds to rebuild their homes. Cecilia Dells, a family of more than 10 people, are still living outdoors. When they received the cash relief, they immediately bought materials and tools to rebuild their home.
At present, my sons are rebuilding one of the houses, but we need to rebuild 3 more. We hope to finish everything today.
When the volunteers arrived at the school, they heard the children's laughter again.
Thank you for giving us school supplies. We were given new school bags and books.
The teachers were also grateful that the children are having new school bags and supplies, in particular water bottles, a practical item.
There is no drinking water available in 4th floor of our school. With water bottles, they don't need to go down to get water. This will be a great help, so they become healthy while having their studies.
Because of Tzu Chi, everywhere is filled with gratitude and joy.
Sichuan Tzu Chi volunteers continue to care for Tibetans in Qinghai. This time, they cooperated with Rare Wa Charity Association to assist patients with rare illnesses. They not only did scoliosis screening on site, but helped many travel down the mountain to get medical treatment in Chengdu.
Scoliosis is not difficult to treat in cities, yet at the altitude of 3,000 meters, it is often delayed for a lifetime.
The villagers are normally not aware of children's growth, so many health problems have been delayed.
Reiwa is Tibetan, meaning hope. Since this July, Tzu Chi started cooperating with Reiwa Charity Association to take care of nomadic Tibetans' health, especially for those having serious disease that can be cured. The visit will also involve screening for scoliosis. However, volunteers experience altitude sickness, testing their perseverance.
I don't need anything. I just want to lie down. I think I would be better if I lay down.
And during the discomfort of the previous day, volunteers arrived at the hospital on time early in the morning. It is because there are lots of parents waiting in the hospital looking forward to bring their children down the mountain for medical treatment.
The information needs to be ready, okay? Do you understand? If yes, please tell your uncle.
Only little children studying at school can understand Chinese, but nearly all their parents cannot.
Apart from the remote location and medical expenses, difference in language and living habits are the biggest obstacles for the Tibetans to have medical treatment.
Most people have never been to the hospital. Maybe they also need assistance to communicate with the doctors and nurses in the hospital.
When the patients went out of Chengdu station, volunteers were already there waiting for them. Tzu Chi volunteers lead the Tibetans who need to have medical treatment to the hospital and went through admission procedure. They also help to arrange daily necessities and bought new clothes for the Tibetans, making them comfortable during their stay.
I think Tzu Chi's humanistic care and persistence, which are also our shortcomings, are commendable.
No matter how twisted life is, with love, it can be changed into a life with a bright future.
30 years ago, Tzu Chi opened a nursing school in Hualien, hiring many different professional teachers. Tzu Chi volunteers from all walks of life also contributed, becoming some of the best helpers and teachers on campus. Recently, these programs have begun recruiting international students, becoming like a mini United Nations for students around the world.
Indonesian students immediately found a sense of intimacy when they heard this familiar song. For the first time, the University of Science and Technology recruited Indonesian students. Teachers, Zhuzhengs, and Ida fathers and mothers did their best to welcome these students, even going overseas to meet them before school started.
Because of this Indonesian new student camp, I am currently in Indonesia. This is an international exchange activity. I am currently a student at TCUST, and this has given me an international outlook and perspective.
In the future, mixing Taiwan and Indonesian students will ignite what type of spark? Indonesian students will study agriculture and marketing.
In Indonesia, most people are farmers. If I'm here studying, then I can tell them how to sell their products.
In addition to recruiting Indonesian students, TCUSTs also recruit new immigrants as students. This means that the number of international students has increased year by year, accounting for 10% of the total number of students.
The first reason is that we are actively participating in educational exhibitions around the world and recruiting students from the local society. Secondly, we are starting to work with local Tzu Chi chapters for a talent development plan. We hope to cultivate the administrative ability of local chapters to cultivate talent and their humanities.
Here at the university's Student Club Expo, the student in Tzu Chi University's Department of Child Development is getting an opportunity to learn more about the community. Even though she is from Malaysia, she chose to study in Taiwan after careful evaluation.
Because my elder sister first came here, I decided to join her. In my class, I am one of the 4 foreign students.
In 2012, I joined the Tzu Chi camp and then I went with them to Taiwan. Later, Tzu Chi had a briefing and it was the department that I wanted to study. I didn't thought that all of my studies from kindergarten to middle school was in Malaysia, so I wanted to go abroad for my studies.
At present, she is with her sister in the same school and has also participated in many children's drama performances, which has accumulated a lot of practical experience. After graduation, the 2 sisters want to go back to Malaysia to be a preschool teacher and implement what they have learned in Taiwan.
When I was an intern, I felt that what class taught me was correct and was very consistent with our education. This gave me confidence in making the right decision to study here. I also wanted to bring back what I've learned to Malaysia.
Tzu Chi's education is mainly rooted in eastern Taiwan, though it has international aspirations. Even 15-year-old students have an opportunity to develop their international horizons. The students are named Chen, who is attending the middle school attached to Tzu Chi University, is now in the USA and undertaking an exchange program for 1 year. Almost every day she communicates with her mother despite the time difference, forging a strong bond between mother and daughter.
数学多少
？70分，反正就是有过就对了。
啊哈，好啦，加油加油！国1开始，国2开始，学校。
In the first and second year of middle school, they started this exchange program. I thought that my daughter is very reserved and never thought that she would take the initiative to go abroad. I think that this experience has led her to grow a lot in the past few years. We haven't done a lot to cultivate her, and she wasn't in the bilingual program either, but she still has the courage to do such things.
可是她会有这种勇气，这是令我刮目相看。
Education, which extends its reach overseas, allows students to communicate with others and also allows foreign students to come to Taiwan to study, making Tzu Chi a growing presence in this international education environment.
The city of Bellevue in Washington organized emergency aid classes for the local residents in Seattle. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you and goodbye.